Penguin Random House Audio presents The Convert by Stefan Hertmans. Translated from the Dutch by David McKay. Read for you by Nicholas Guy Smith. For the Woman Who Kissed a House. The form of timelessness is the now and the here. Thomas Mann, Joseph and His Brothers. This novel is inspired by a true story. It is the product of both extensive research and creative imagination. Chapter 1. Mount Jupiter. 1. It's early in the morning. The first rays of sun are just coming over the hilltops. From the window where I look out over the valley, I see two people approaching in the distance. I suppose they've come down from the heights of Saint-Hubert, from which you can see both the peak of Mont Ventoux and the valley of Monnieu. It must have taken them some time to cross the sparse oak forest on the high plateau, where wolves roam free. The famous Rocher du Cyr, a steep, majestic cliff where bees swarm up beyond reach and, in the summer sun, the stone sometimes glistens with the honey that drips from the rock face, is desolate and indomitable at this hour, its great mass sunk in the morning mist. All this the two travellers have seen and passed in silence. The morning light catches the outlines of their still tiny forms. They descend with difficulty to the spot where nowadays the farmhouse of La Plaine watches over the valley like a guard dog. From there, the winding road leads them down to the left bank of the river, the right side for them, since they're headed upstream. They slip in and out of view, now concealed by trees, now re-emerging. Then they come to a large sloping expanse of grass, and their pace quickens slightly. From there, they can see the half-finished turret rising from the high stone wall like a reassuring beacon. Now the sun is a little higher. Its rays reach the low valley and set the village aglow. In their time, all the houses are made of stone, so it's hard to tell in the half-light where one ends and another begins, as if the village has sprung from the cliff by some miracle, carved by sunlight, as if someone has pulled aside a great curtain to reveal a sleeping landscape. The blue of dawn fades fast, giving way to yellows and greys. The warmth of the morning swells the last clouds into slow, vast boulders in a purple sky. Over the length of the river, the white veil evaporates before my eyes. A swarm of bee-eaters is already swooping over the rooftops. Once the pair has come a few hundred meters closer, I see that the man is using a branch as a crude cane. The woman limps, as if walking is hard for her. They both look drained. Did the woman sprain her ankle on one of the stony highland paths? Or do her shoes chafe her feet during their long, exhausting daily treks? I adjust my binoculars. There's no mistaking now that she is pregnant. The man is wearing a loose smock and has a homespun hat on his head. Sometimes he takes the woman's arm to help her over an obstacle. A second man, with a large sack, comes into sight behind them. He follows in their footsteps, leading a mule. What time did they get up this morning? Were they roused by the cold at the foot of a tree? Or did they wake at an inn? In the quiet panorama of this spring morning, nightingales sing in the bushes by the river. You can hear them from here, letting out their wild, melodious calls. As the sun lifts off the crest of the hill, an owl sails silently over the twisted oaks, not to be seen again until nightfall. Timeless peace, the distant howl of a wolf dog, the cuckoo's monotone call as it flutters over the lonely woods near Saint-Jean. The landscape smells sublime in these early hours. It breathes an ethereal beauty. On this spring morning, all the irises are open. The wild cherry tree is in blossom. The rosemary is dense with bright little flowers, and the scent of thyme rises with the warmth of the dew. Warmth of the dew. Hamutal. This Jewish name pops into my head, the man's affectionate name for the woman. I know who they are. I know who they're running from. I wish I could welcome them into this house, offer them a hot drink they wouldn't recognize, a cup of coffee, for instance. Where are they to live, now that their house has been gone 1,000 years and the medieval section of the village is lost under grass and shrubs? At any moment, today's first passing car may give them the shock of their lives, sending the young woman into premature labor. The couple are now straggling into my village. I wake with a start from my daydream, close the window, light a fire for the cool morning hours, make coffee. Now and then I feel the foolish urge to look out of the window. Patches of sun slide across the old tiled floor. The day is still and empty. This village was once known as Mount Jupiter, Mont Jovis. The Neolithic cave dwellers not far from here were followed, long before the Christian era, by builders of crude stone houses. Though their appearance is lost in the night of time, you can sense their presence in the earliest houses of the ruined upper village. In the old chapel at the edge of the ravine, a stone with Latin inscriptions was once found, dedicated to Mars Nabelcus, a deity worshipped by the Romans in the region. In the Middle Ages, the primitive houses were scattered among rocks that formed natural obstacles and small oaks that shot up in unexpected places. The village was sheltered by the steep, rocky slope, a natural wall almost 100 meters high. Sometimes you stumble across forgotten cellars amid the dry grass, undergrowth, and time-covered rocks. The shadowy recesses smell of mold and soil, even on hot days. Here, in this brushland of brambles and withered vetch, where I often sit and dream away the day, there was once a room, a place of birth and death. Around the 10th century, feuds broke out over the deep wells under some of the cellars. During heat waves, the infamous canicules, the water turned brackish and poisoned the villagers. Vagrants were accused and tortured, perhaps a vestige of the tradition of ritual sacrifice. The tumble-down houses up on the heights, battered by the gales, the mistral, and the tramontante, stood with their windowless backs to the wind so that they could hold out for centuries. They were not fundamentally different from
Sample complete. Ready to continue?